Welcome, everybody. This is Kathy again. So, today I wanted to film a new moon in Virgo oracle reading for everybody. So, Virgo is a time of clarity, grounding. New moon is a good time to set intentions that truly align with our soul, with our purpose. So today, in our pick a pile reading, we'll receive a gentle guidance on what it is we need to clear out, what is best to plant, how to move forward with purpose. And we will be using 4 decks. The first deck, it's called Woodland Wardens, very earthy, very appropriate for Virgo energy. And then the second will be using the Moonology Messages card. This is very much in line with lunar energies. Sorry, excuse me. And then we will be using the Sacred Rebels Oracle. Yeah. Again. And then finally we will be using the Keepers of Light. No? Let's begin picking the cards. Okay? I've already taken out the cards from the boxes. So first, let's choose cards from the Woodland Wardens Oracle deck. And this card that we will be picking for each of the 3 piles will correspond to the question, what needs clearing? What do we need to clear from our lives or from our energy? Okay, let's cut it. And we'll pick a card for pile number 1, for pile number 2, and pile number 3. Let me check if it's centered. Okay, that's good. And then we'll use the Moonology Manifestation card. Oops. And then we'll pick a card that will correspond to what seeds we need to plant. Okay, let's shuffle it one more. Okay. What seeds do we need to plant for pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3? Okay. And then we'll pick a card from the Sacred Rebels Oracle. They're pretty big. They're very substantial. Well, let's knock on them just to knock out all the energy from past readings. I think we used this recently, no? Okay, let's cut it and let's pick a card for each pile that will answer the question, our inner truth. What is our inner truth that we need to follow? That's for pile number 1. This is for pile number 2, and this is for pile number 3. And then lastly, we will pick a card from the Keepers of the Light Oracle deck. For oops, I guess we will be using that. Let's use that for pile number 1 since it jumped out and wanted to be used. Oh. Okay. Let's cut this. Guidance from our team of guides for pile number 2, and guidance from our team of guides for pile number 3. And there we go. Here are our 3 piles. So go ahead and pick what pile is calling to you. What pile resonates with you? If you need to take a moment, pause this video, breathe deeply to see which pile is calling out to you, is calling out to your intuition. Do so. Take your time. And when you're ready, you'll find the time stamps for each pile in the description box below. Okay? So this is pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. I will see you in your reading. So if you picked pile number 1 or the leftmost pile, this is your reading. Welcome. So here we go. Like we said, the first card is the very earthy wisdom to show what's weighing us down and what needs clearing. The second card is what seed to plant, or the intention that is best to set in this new moon, which is very much aligned with the Virgo energy. The third card is all about your inner truth, what your authentic self is asking for. And then the last card is guidance from your team of guides. Okay? This deck, the Woodland Wardens deck, is probably the only deck I use with reversals. And so now it came up reversed. So we will read it as is. Let's look at that. What needs clearing? It says here, bashfulness. Can you see? Shyness. Hiding your light. Not stepping into your full power. That doesn't need a lot of explanation. If you are someone who is always trying to let other people shine, this is the time to step back from that habit and allow yourself to be the one to be front and center this time, to unabashedly step in your power, shine your light without apologies. This is what needs to be shed in the month ahead, or in the month of Virgo. What seeds, or what seed needs planting this month for you? Look at this, love. And if you relate it with this, it really feels like self-love, right? And self-love, it's not self-care. It's different from self-care. It's really taking pride in who you are, in your talents, in your gifts, in the wisdom that you have acquired in all aspects of your personality, to allow yourself to step up, be front and center, accept yourself radically. It goes beyond just being kind to yourself. It goes beyond just being compassionate. It's really stepping into your power, right? For our culture, I know that is not easy, right? Or for a certain generation, right? Being upfront, being a little aggressive and not shy about your gifts or about your opinions, about your wisdom, that is look that's frowned upon, right? We say that's boastful. We say that's taking up too much space. That's taking up too much air in the atmosphere. But if you pick this pile, you are probably a person who has allowed others to shine in the past years, or perhaps in all in all your life. But Virgo is asking you to really step out of that. You are at the time and the age where you are not just allowed, but it feels like you're really being encouraged to take up space, to shine your light, to step into your power, to express your love for yourself really radically. I know for others this is really a hard thing to do, and it takes practice. So, baby steps, baby steps. Okay, so the next card is all about your inner truth. This is your soul led guidance about what your authentic self is really asking for, especially for this month. Look at this, heaven sent. Heaven sent. What does that feel like to you? It really feels like getting in touch, not just with your intuition, it really feels like your divine connection, your connection with the sacred. And it feels to me, if you are aware of how connected you are with the divine, with the sacred, then you will have less difficulty in showing love for yourself and allowing yourself to shine, right? Because it's not just about you, it is about how the Creator expresses itself through you, right? And when you step into your light, you are kind of saying, look what the Creator has done in me, through me. Right? It's not really being boastful about your accomplishments, but how brilliantly the light has moved through you, has been expressed through you. Wow, that's a beautiful soul truth. And then finally, guidance from your team of guides, how you can embody this first three messages. It says here, wow, quite literally, earth connection. Be mindful of the planet, come back to earth, stay grounded. Beautiful. So the new moon this month is quite powerful. And you're being asked to ground it by literally connecting with the ground energy, the earth energy. It's beautiful because if you think about it, what you're being asked to do is to show how you have embodied heaven, right? Show how you have embodied divinity. And it's not really asking you to go outside of who you are. It's simply asking you to own up to who you are, to allow the world to see all the beauty that you hide within you, no? Wow, this month, allow yourself to shine. Do the things that you are good at and feel good while doing them. Not to apologize. It is probably a gift from past lifetimes or a talent or skill that you have worked on for years to become proficient at it. And if that feels good and it allows you to feel how special you are, how wonderfully you have been created by your creator, then yes, engage in that activity. Allow yourself to feel it, to own it, and to be joyful about it. Okay? Have a great Virgo ahead. Okay? Bye. If you pick the second pile or the middle pile, this is your reading. Welcome. So let's start. The first card is all about what needs clearing, what energy needs to be cleared from you. The second card, what seed to plant in this month. The third card is your inner truth or a soul-led guidance about what your authentic self is really asking for, craving for. And then the last card is guidance from your team of guides, how to embody the rest of the message. Okay, let's start here from the first card. What needs clearing? What earthy wisdom is weighing you down or blocking the flow? It says here, starting over. What is blocking the flow? Starting over. It could be the fear of beginning again. It could be the fear of appearing as a beginner again. Right? If you have been someone who has been proficient at what you have been doing, you know, and now you are craving or feel an attraction to learn something new, it's not easy to step into the beginner's mind. And it always feels like a challenge to not see so far ahead, right? When you are beginning, you're really not sure if this is going to succeed, if you're going to be any good at it. But it feels like the message is it's not the point to be good at it or to eventually make money out of it, to see any advantage out of experiencing something new or learning something new. It's not always the point, right? To have like the word that comes to mind is profit at the end or like an advantage at the end. It's not always that. Sometimes starting over, having a clean slate opens up your mind, opens up your energy field to new ideas, to new things, to new discoveries, right? That it kind of expands your world, expands your mind, and really gives you more possibilities, right? And so, even if this new thing, this new interest that you feel attracted to, but perhaps you're scared of pursuing, it will always have a payback in that when you engage in that, you kind of tell the universe, I am open to receiving something new. It may not come from this specific activity, right? Or this specific uh, new wisdom, right? It might not come through there, but it can come from other areas of your life, right? But it just tells the universe that I am not closed minded. There are parts of me that is open to receiving new things. Or it's also acknowledging to the universe that I am still in the process. My work is not done, right? And that allows the universe, the divine, or the creator to send you, right? Send you new things. It's like a signal saying, I am here, I am ready to receive, right? And so it might be scary because we are trained to think that in doing something new, there should be payback, right? It should, like, it should earn interest, right? There should be payback. But in fact, sometimes there is payback that we don't see, and there is payback that we don't connect with necessarily with what we're doing, but it opens up avenues for new things to come into our life, and new things, change, more light. It can only be good because that pushes you to your next level, that pushes you to reach your potential, that pushes you closer to your purpose. Sometimes, even if it's to say, this may not be your path, right? And this will allow you to see your former path, or the thing that you've been doing, but probably you're bored doing already. That's why you wanted something different to do. It might give you the realization that what you have been doing, what you have been proficient with, is truly a great gift. Not everyone who starts something becomes proficient or a master of it, right? Not everyone is given that opportunity. Not everyone lasts or makes it through mastery level. But sometimes we need space, right, to see the gift of that level, of reaching that level. So, what needs clearing? Any fear of being a beginner, any fear of starting over, any fear of finding yourself at the beginning line or the starting line again. Okay. And what seeds need to be planted? The Virgo energy of precision and grounded change. Oh, literally. It says change. It very much speaks to each other, right? Starting over is another word for change. Yeah? Allow yourself to evolve. If you need to start over, go ahead, do so. You will discover things about yourself, about your life, or about your relationship that you did not see before. So yes, plant the seeds of change. And when we say plant the seed, it's a very little action. It doesn't have to be drastic. No? Sometimes it's just saying I am willing. I am willing to see what needs to change, right? I am willing to take a baby step, and do something different. Okay. Beautiful. That really aligns, huh? Then the third card is all about your inner truth. This is the soul-led guidance about what your authentic self is really asking for. So this is what needs to be released, what needs to be planted, right? And then this is what the soul is really craving for. Look at this big, bold vision. Nice. And now this kind of makes sense, no? Whatever you're up to until now, it's in a way playing small. It's still playing small, no matter how big or successful you have been. There's room to grow. There's room to evolve. There's room to change. And this is what the soul really wants, to express itself more dramatically, more boldly, more authentically. And perhaps it's not able to do it just yet. No? But it feels, I wanted to say fear around change because there's so much dark color as background here, and it feels like you cannot see beyond it. There are no other elements that you can see, right? It's just the snake who's not yet shedding. He's not yet shedding. Perhaps he's still looking for a safe space to shed. So yes, do something small that will introduce a little bit of change, because really the soul wants to express itself in a bigger way, in a more dramatic way, in a more authentic way. Right? Look at this. Look at this. I feel like there's a bee here. And this feels like queen bee energy, right? Not shy to be the center of it all, the source of it all. Beautiful. And then this last card is the action that your guides are suggesting for you for this month, to in line with the first three cards. No, this could be a practical or wise advice from your guides to integrate this new moon energy. It says here sacred vision. Isn't that super aligned? Also, look at that. It says sacred vision, the Miriam. Choose to forgive in order to heal. See the light in all. Remember that love has no boundaries. Okay. So what this makes me feel is expansion, really, right? Expansion. When it says here also, see the light in all, it it feels like it's speaking to this card, right? See the light or the possibilities or the goodness in all, um, I would say, levels or in all phases of life. There is sweetness and beauty in reaching the top or the level of mastery and proficiency. But there is also beauty in in the beginning phase, right? Just like in the first days or first months or years of love blooming, love cannot be sweeter, right? But also in the beginning of anything, it can also be just as sweet. I feel like the guides are reminding you of that. Um, yeah, the word no boundaries, the two words no boundaries, that's also um, giving us the energy of expansion. Allow yourself to grow and be bold, but you cannot grow from where you are. Things need to change, right? Some things need to be shed, right? In starting over, you can also you you don't really have to start over from zero, because now you are a person with experience in some I wanted to say the levels that one goes through can be applied to other processes, right? Other processes. So it won't be totally zero, actually. You will have the wisdom of experience, the wisdom of age. So it feels like the guides are really just supporting, you know, they're really supporting. Go ahead. If you are thinking about creating a bit of change, if you are um, desiring to start something new, go ahead. Go ahead. No? Everything is saying, go ahead. Don't be scared. Um, and however this ends, it will result to some expansion, to some maturity, to increased wisdom and knowledge and experience. Okay. So I'm trying to pause to see if there are other messages that are coming through. I think that's it. I think that's pretty much it. I hope this reading helps. If you are not yet subscribed, go ahead and subscribe so you will receive notifications for the next readings. Okay? Have a fruitful Virgo month ahead. Bye. If you pick the rightmost pile or pile number 3, this is your reading. Welcome. So let's start. Okay, so the first card corresponds to what energy needs to be cleared. The second card corresponds to what seed needs to be planted. The third card corresponds to your inner truth or a soul-led guidance about what your authentic self is really asking for this month. And then the last card is advice from your team of guides. Okay, so let's go first to your first card. What needs clearing? Earthy energy showing what is weighing you down or what's blocking you. And it says here hope. I what does it mean when hope lands in the position of what weighs you down? I am thinking first of, is there a lack of hope, or is there too much hope that we're not seeing the reality of things? It feels more like there's too much hope. Um, we can rephrase this by saying, okay, it is great and it is admirable to always see the good in others. But if others are, if other people are using that to their advantage, that is not, it is doing yourself a disservice. It feels like you are being asked to kind of listen to another aspect of yourself and kind of step out of the bubble of positivity and see what other truths are out there. See what other truths are present in the situation. Perhaps it's because the situation involves people you love or people who have been good to you, or a situation that has been advantageous before, right? Places that have given us hope before. But this is kind of reminding me of the saying, how do you define insanity? And they said insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. Perhaps it is time to set aside positivity or hope and putting your energy elsewhere, right? Virgo energy can be a little, the first word that comes to mind is cruel, because Virgo energy sees very clearly what is going wrong, what is not going right. This is the time to see and acknowledge that although things have gone right before, but perhaps now there's something that needs changing. Perhaps there's something that needs changing. And maybe we have put our hope, our expectations too long in the same place. And maybe this place or this person or this situation cannot deliver it anymore, cannot deliver the results that we want or need anymore. That's not easy. It's not easy to acknowledge, but sometimes just seeing it, recognizing it, that's the beginning. That's the beginning. of taking action. What seeds need to be planted? Look at this. Communicate, expressing yourself. It says here, talk to the moon. Wow. Could it be, could it be that the change that needs to happen is for you to speak up more, to express yourself more? Is it your, it could be that in accepting what is, right, you have become mute. That your voice has become mute, has become silent. You are being encouraged to express yourself, to say what you mean. This is not easy. It is not easy, especially when we are talking about dealing with people who are explosive, who have explosive temperaments, right? Who are very, what do you call that? Not aggressive, but confrontational. And we are not used to that. So we try to keep it in status quo and try to hope that everything will be fine if we don't move, if we don't say anything, if we don't blink, if we stay silent. But it feels like there's some things that need to shift. And to shift that, first you need to speak up, to express your unhappiness, or express your desire to have more, right? It is not easy to confront immediately, right? But perhaps it will help to first clarify what you want. And to do that, perhaps you can try experimenting with writing what you want, just to clarify your thoughts, no? Or in prayer, where you feel like you are speaking to the divine, no? To clarify what you want, clarify the direction that you see yourself going towards, right? Or clarify the change that you want to see happening. Maybe not to immediately confront if that's not possible, or if that's too much, right? Start small. Start practicing expressing yourself alone first. And when what you want is clear in your mind, then you can voice it out loud, or write that to someone and direct it to someone. Or perhaps it could be, not just someone, an organization, a community. It doesn't have to be just a one-on-one relationship. It can also be a relationship with a group of people. Okay. The third card is all about soul-led guidance and what your authentic self is really asking for in the month of Virgo. Look at this. It says here, come to life. And it looks like it's a picture of a woman trying to paint color back into herself, right? Try to paint back color into her body. She's all gray. She's all black and white and gray. And it feels like she's painting color back. Not bold colors yet, just very subtle skin color, very gently. And so this aligns very much, right? If you think about it, perhaps your soul or your spirit has been quiet for so long, trying to bear the environment that you are in. But there's something, because you've been bearing it, being quiet about it, um, it feels like you are losing. You're losing your light, you are losing your energy, you are losing your life force. And this is what the soul wants to experience again, to bring itself back to life, back to vitality. The energy of Virgo can really clarify, and not just clarify it, not explode. It really allows you to see what is going wrong clearly. It allows you to see what is not right, what could be more perfect, what could be perfected, what is not yet in perfection, right? And I feel like your soul, your spirit knows already that there is something lacking, and there is something unexpressed, and there is something that you are just bearing and not happy about, no? And so you're being asked to take the baby steps required to create that change. It could be that the environment that you are in is not capable of change, right? But there is something about just you expressing what is lacking, what you need that is not being given, what is not congruent or aligned anymore. It's just important for you to express that also, no? Because in a way that allows you to take back some of the power that you gave away, that you gave away in saying, okay, I will bear with this in the hopes that maybe it will go back to how it used to be or change the way you want it to change. It may not change, but you can. You can change. You can decide if you still want to bear it or you have moved on. Okay? Whew, it's not, yes. Virgo is not a gentle energy. Internally, it's not that gentle. I know they say like Virgo people, they are maternal, they're very grounded, they're very practical, but also very critical, very critical. Okay, so the last card is advice from your team of guides on how to embody and integrate this new moon energy that is being asked of you. It says here, Lady Portia, divine order. It feels very Virgo to me. The word order is divine order because Virgo energy really sees how the perfection of the universe, right? Virgo energy sees, Virgo eye sees the perfection of the universe. And so it's very hard to function in a universe or place where we see, where the Virgo eye see that there is something amiss, something that is just not right. Okay, so it says here, do what you feel is right. Oh my gosh, this really just aligns. It's giving me like a buzz in my head. Do what you feel is right. An important lesson is unfolding. It is an encouragement. You are not going crazy. You are not demanding for too much. You truly are seeing something that is not quite right for you, and it could be not quite right for others, actually. But it's just not spoken about openly. It could be that, no? and it's an encouragement from your guides. Go ahead, do it. No, um, but you see, because there's also a lot of purple light and then flowers, and the fact that this energy is depicted as feminine energy. No, so when you do express it, be sure that you are expressing it from a place of mercy, understanding, um, no expectation. No, no expectation. And see if you can do it without being too emotional, right? And the only emotion should be like love, right? Um, it can be received much more openly if it is expressed in this way, because in essence you are going to be, it feels like a criticism, right? And um, anytime you point out what you think is wrong, that will create a pushback immediately, right? But if you say it with a lot of mercy and a lot of love, then it can be received much better. It is, you can express it through the lens of, what else can be done better? What else can be done better? How can this be better? Whew, that is, that was not easy to birth. That message was not easy to birth or express. Okay, I hope this helps you for the month ahead. If you have not yet subscribed to this channel, please do so you can receive notifications for future readings. And I am wishing you a month ahead with a lot of assistance from your guides. Okay, I'll see you again soon. Bye. So that's it. Those are the readings for each of the 3 piles that we chose from. If you have not subscribed yet, please do so you will be alerted when the next free reading drops. The month of Virgo is not always an easy month because it allows you to see the to preface that, the Virgo eye is very critical. The Virgo eye expects perfection and order. And so it really feels like in the readings that we have done, everyone everyone will see that at least one part of their life needs more order or can stand a bit of change or can be improved. And that's not always a very gentle energy going forward. So inject a lot of love in the process, a lot of patience and understanding and compassion towards yourself and others as you try to forge change ahead. Wishing everyone a divinely assisted month ahead. Okay, and I'll see you in our next reading. Bye.